Last night, one candidate was absent. Political newcomer Dianne Morales backed out of yesterday's forum at the very last minute while dealing with a crisis within her own campaign. Dianne Morales now joining us this morning to explain what's going on, how this will impact her run for office. Good morning, Ms. Morales. Thank you for being here this morning.
Good morning to you, and thanks so much for giving me the opportunity to join you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, we'll talk about the issues like we gave the other candidates a chance to in just a moment, but I want to focus on your campaign suffering this serious blow this week. New York Times reporting that two high-level campaign staffers left, two others were dismissed, four employees who were active in trying to unionize were fired, leading to a strike. Allegations of harassment, race-based mistreatment, toxic work environment. What is going on here?
Well, the reality of it is that I became aware several weeks ago of some issues, the very issues that you are describing. And I, intervened immediately and took action and removed two of the staff that were in question. And, as a result of all of that, really became aware of some of the structural and operational challenges that the operational side of my campaign has been dealing with. And so I done what any good leader and manager would do, which is essentially to prioritize making sure that the campaign's structure and staffing is what it needs to be in order to move forward so that we can continue to build and expand on the momentum that we've had over time. Yes.
What are the specifics of the harassment, the race-based mistreatment, and the toxic work environment?
Sure. So I became aware a couple of weeks ago of allegations of a white staff member engaging in what staff experienced as racist behaviors. And the other was that I became aware of a staff member who was allegedly sexually harassing some of the women on the team. And so those are the behaviors that were brought to my attention, and those were the behaviors those were the individuals in question that I addressed immediately.
So they were let go. Then your campaign staff tried to unionize, right? There's this talk of forming a union. Four of those members who tried to unionize were fired. Was it because they were trying to unionize?
No, absolutely not. I mean, the reality of it is that the staff mentioned to me for the first time this past Monday that they wanted to unionize, and I immediately, without hesitation whatsoever, said absolutely. I'm fully supportive of that, and that has not changed. In the process of examining the structure and the staffing pattern and what we need to move forward, the four people in question were people that came up as people that needed to be removed so that we could actually have the staffing structure that we need to move forward. So one was absolutely not connected to the other, and all of the staff that remain that are interested in unionizing are free to do so. And I'm 100% supportive of that. I'm looking forward to them coming to the table so that we can actually move forward on the campaign.
The senior Queensborough organizer for your campaign put out a statement last night, Faroud Amiel, calling for you to suspend your campaign. Will you be suspending your campaign? And if you're not, what's your message to New Yorkers who are saying, if you're having trouble with a few dozen people, how are you going to manage a few 100,000?
Sure. So first of all, I'm absolutely not suspending this campaign. There is a tremendous amount of momentum around this campaign and the vision for New York City. And I've been working really hard to sort of create that. And New Yorkers have lost so much already over the course of the last year. My name is on the ballot. New Yorkers have the right to choose and to decide. And that is what I'm going to give them. I'm going to continue to put forward the vision for New York City that I think that we deserve.
Understood. And I do want to give you the chance to talk about some of the issues like we gave your fellow candidates last night. Let's talk about the NYPD. You want to take $3 billion from the budget. So how then do you ensure morale in the department, right? Which with such steep cuts during what's been a difficult time for the department?
So, the reality of it is that my priority is the safety and security and well-being of New Yorkers in general. And I think it is time for us to actually reinvest in communities and divest from policing. I think, what we've seen over the course of the last year and beyond is a steady divesting in things that lead to safety, real safety, housing, access to housing, food security, quality schools, healthcare. Yes. We actually need to invest in those things.
I want to talk about public safety, though, right? Because you've advocated for these non-police officers to respond to emergency calls. What's the timeline for establishing the community first responders, and what are they responding to as we see a rise in crime, hate crimes, anti-Semitic, anti-Asian?
Right. So the Community First Responders Department actually would be specifically targeting and addressing and responding to issues of homelessness, substance abuse, mental health issues. We need to actually have responses that are proportionate to the crisis at hand and provide support and services to New Yorkers
So let me just
and help them.
Let me just
Yeah,
zero in on that, because when you say mental health and homeless, if a person were
sure.
to encounter someone yelling on the streets, looking
Yeah.
like a trouble on the corner, and an individual is walking by that and being harassed, who do they call, 911 or the community first responder?
The Community First Responders Department. That would be staffed by people who are trained and skilled at intervention and de-escalation, and who also are serving as part of a larger ecosystem of human service providers, mental health providers, medical providers who can connect people to the services that they actually need, so that they don't stay in crisis and they can actually move forward and make progress in their lives.
Understood.
That's what people need.
Understood. There are plenty of topics I would like to talk to you about. We're simply out of time. I'm sorry we couldn't have you on the forum last night to give you the full 11 minutes, but I do appreciate you making the time this morning to explain what's going on with your campaign and also to talk about public safety. That's a big issue.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, thank you.